We'll take the top two when he gets the pink. We'll take those.
What's up? How we doing, my man?
Tony!
Great to meet you, my brother. Yeah, feeling great. Championship Sunday. Let's get it.
Yeah, that one. Thank you.
Well, it's a beautiful Sunday morning here at the Park District of Forest Park. It is Championship Sunday in the 57th Annual No Glove Nationals 16-inch softball tournament. We are starting things off with Whale and High Y. We'll see what we're going to do for the next few games, depending on the matchups. We might be live all through Sunday, but we've got this one, and then I can guarantee the 115, the 230, and the 345. So Circus versus 45s at 115, the Losers Bracket Championship at 230, and then the championship game at 345. We'll see how everything goes with that, but we're going to start off here with Whale, the visiting team, batting first. Their batting order is Brian Barzowski, Mike Crawford, Bino Fickers, Jackson Perry, Chris Rieger, Frank Simon, Brian Mercurio, Jake Lenti, Jack McIntosh, Mike Kavanaugh, and Eddie Barzowski. So Barzowski going to start things off for Whale. Here for High Y. Have their defensive alignment in a minute. Yeah, Jordan, I will do my best to update you guys on the Hall of Fame game if we can get updates from Field 2 as we're going from that game. And then once that one's done, I'll let you know what the rest of the stream schedule looks like. That one lifted into center, caught for a quick out. Number 1, Barzowski is retired. So here's Mike Crawford. And of course, we've got the one and only Grace up here, one of our tournament directors. She has run a heck of a ship this weekend. I know she loves getting her flowers. Good morning from Arkansas Butter. Good morning, Carla. Yeah, Jordan, we usually try to do as much Iowa games as possible. So if Hall of Fame wins and they keep winning this morning, I believe they're on Field 2 the next 2 games. So I will not move my butt from this seat. But our traveling scorekeeper aficionado / Ranger Joel is going to text me updates as they come from Field 2. So I will do my best to make sure. So Crawford walks. Bino up to bat, pops that one up over to third. Elzy makes the catch for out number 2. Happy to have you all joining us here, 9:30 a.m. I barely made it, so the fact that you guys are here is awesome. Jackson Perry up here, friend of the program, with 2 down, runner on first. Perry pushes that over to second, man down to a knee, knocks it down, throws to first. Perry beats it out, good hustle from the big man. Tough hop over at second base for Mann. Was able to recover fairly quickly, but Jackson scooting down the line, beats it out, and in comes the pitcher, Chris Rieger. Rieger pushes that to the right side. Golden fields it just before it rips into foul territory. Jackson held at third. Late hold, but a good hold. Brings in the first run. Crawford scores first and third here for Whale. And they are on the board. Kind of weird streaming a game with the clear blue skies, the sun coming out. We've got shadows. Doesn't feel like a dark era Batman Gotham City type feel outside. Frank Simon lifts that into right over to Golden. Charles makes the catch for out number 3, but Wales strikes first. They're on the board 1-0. We head to the bottom 1. High Y coming up. Hey, Grace. I try to run on the right hand with everyone, but someone does. People checking in from all over the country. Good morning from Orlando, Jennifer. So the batting order here for High Y, bottom of the first. My goodness, it's bright. I got to get my sunglasses out. It's Charles Golden, Pierce, Kevin Johnson, Trey Johnson, Travis Smith. One of the G Huffs. There's 2 G Huffs. We'll sort that out when he comes up to bat. Sheriff Walker, Jasper Golden, the other G Huff, and then Wright and Jacob Elzy. Jerry from Indiana, Butter from Arkansas. So Cha-Cha takes a ball to start things off. Pushes that to the left side. Foul defensively for Whale. Left to right in the outfield. Eddie, Jake, and Mike. Then I believe across the infield, it's going to be Jackson, Jack, Bino, Mike, and Brian. Then Chris Rieger on the mound and Frank Simon behind the dish. Good morning, Sean. Good to see you, my friend. Yes, Nano is a Huff as well. Lots of Huffs. Was talking to Eric Huff before the game. Took a picture of me in my socks. Pushes that one over to second. Quick throw to first. He beats it out. Good hustle there from Cha-Cha. So here's Pierce. And that's ball four. So Rieger with the walk, first and second, nobody out. In steps big KJ. Kevin Johnson, of course, recently, I believe I've got my butter crib notes up here still. Won the Washington Park 2025 Home Run Derby with a record-setting 10 home runs. 10 doesn't sound like a lot until you have tried to hit a 16-inch softball real far. There's a strike. Mike Lewis behind the dish. I know I saw Peoria Matt up in the chat earlier. I know he's got his son's, or maybe golf this morning. His son played tennis the other day. Apparently it was against some 12-year-old prodigy. KJ pushes that down the line. Foul by about 6-7 feet. He really wanted that line on that one. You can definitely see in his reaction. He's rocking the blue and red Cat in the Hats. Hoping to hit this one very far. Maybe he'll hit a car. Pushes that to the right side. Brian steps on one and gets the out, so both runners advance. A little easier job here for Trey Johnson. Already over on field two. We've got 2-0 Hall of Fame over March in the top of the second. So that game scooting right along. Hall of Fame concessions and Chucks both doing a really great job this weekend. Had the pleasure of meeting a lot of players from both teams. There's a strike to Trey from Chris. Strike two. That one finds the zone. Full count. Trey hammers that one into center. Charles Floated off the bag just a little bit, but good enough speed to come in and score on the sac fly from Trey. Pierce is going to hold at 2. High Y's going to get one back. We are all tied up at 1 in the bottom of the first. And here's big Travis Smith. Wearing some Grinch socks, hoping he can steal an RBI here. It's early, Sammy. I've still got a little bit of juice in the brain. Dean Pritt checking in on Facebook. Some good softball last night. Yeah, the games were awesome. Appreciate everything you guys do over at the Hall of Fame as well. Travis lifts that to the right side. Crawford over. That falls right at his feet. Pierce comes around to score. RBI single from Travis Smith. Puts High Y in the lead early. So this G Huff will be man. Ooh, Butter canceled his golf today to be with Sir Adam all day long. I would not make that move. I would never cancel golf to hang out with me. But I appreciate the move. Danny Barron, YTD plays 3 years ago. Line back at Rieger, gets his hands up, flips it to first for out number 3, but High Y get 2. They take the lead early after 1. Whale chasing 1 coming up in the top of the second. So I just got the go-ahead from Mission Control that I could potentially stay up here most of today. So that's great. Lucky Sammy Joe gets to listen to me. She's been our scorekeeper here at Field 1 all weekend long, every single game. Big reason why everything runs so smoothly, at least over here on Field 1. I can't speak for everyone at Field 2, but semi-smooth. George checking in on Facebook. Good morning, my friend. It's fun to see his boys, the Fat Kids, in the tournament. Making a little noise in the morning yesterday. That one from Brian Mercurio, lifted into center, over to Pierce, makes the catch for out number 1. Carla, I am loving the shout-outs for everyone in the booth. She says, hey, Sammy. Yes, Butter, I'm just a byproduct of this tourney. I was born in it, molded by it. That one ball misses to Jake Lenti and then Jack McIntosh on deck. Thank you, Neek. I appreciate that. I try to have as much fun in the chat as I do on the games. So Jake Lenti and then Jack McLaughlin. Thank you, Sammy, for that correction. This handwriting, I tell you, we need to bring cursive back. I can't read a darn thing. I get a compliment from Nick and then I ruin a name there. So that's the life of Adam right there. Jake standing on first. We'll just call him Jack Mac. Pushes that or lifts that over around past Trey. Big turn around, second into third. Nice hustle play from Jake Lenti. Puts runners on first and third here for Mike Cavanaugh. Do appreciate everyone for joining us this weekend, whether you came to the park or you've been hanging out on the live streams. Always happy to have people celebrating and enjoying our most wonderful time of the year. I've mentioned several times, No Gloves is essentially like our Christmas. as it looks like a misplay over on field 2 is going to lead to some more Hall of Fame concessions runs. It's always a blast to be able to spend our no gloves with you. Pushed into right. Cha-Cha makes the catch. The throw comes home. No cut, but a nice slide from Lenti comes in to tie it up at 2. Jack Mack moves up. Kavanaugh on the sac fly. So here's Eddie Barzowski. 2 down, another runner in scoring position. Looks like Doc just killed a bee over on the third baseline, and everyone, including Jacob Ellisy at third base, giving him a hand. I saw him start swatting at the air. I got nervous. All there to Eddie. Just missed. Ooh, someone from Hall of Fame just crushed one all the way up against that grass fence past the light in right field. Eddie hits that to Trey. Trey Fields fires over to 1. Travis comes off the bag. Good piece of mind to apply the tag, but Whale get one back. We're all tied up at 2. And yes, Butter, you are correct. I need Orville to join me in the booth. I miss my dog. It's been a long weekend. We head to the bottom of the second. High Y coming right up. So the sheriff is in town. We've got Sheriff Walker, Jasper Golden, and I believe it's going to be Nano, just based on process of elimination. So we've got our G Huff situation sorted out. And I did just get a text from Joel. He said he's going to hang down by field 2 as long as he can to keep providing us with updates from the March and Hall of Fame concessions game. Nice pull, Patrick Sheridan. So Walker takes a walk, aptly named. So as of right now, Hall of Fame concessions is up 7-0 over March in the top of the third. So there's a good chance I'll be staying up here for the winner of this one versus Hall of Fame concessions if they can keep that one rolling. Walker on 1. Here's Jazz. Bucket hat flipped up into sport mode, ready to run. Rieger with the no look over to first. Jazz lifts that into center. Lenti makes the catch, no tag. It's kind of talking about it at the top, but it is remarkable that all we lost this weekend was 1 hour. We started on Thursday an hour late because of the torrential tsunami or hurricane downpour. It was terrible Thursday afternoon, but our maintenance crew was able to turn the fields around in 2 hours, get everything ready, and everything has been on schedule since then. That's a credit to our turning directors, Jackie and Grace, and our maintenance crew led by Sam Marino and Andrew Doss. Doss, the superintendent of parks and facilities, and Marino, his number 2. Strike there to Nano. It looks like Nano's rocking some Tina Belchers. Hits that one over to short. Almost beats it out. Bang, bang play at 1, but they get him. I'm going to have to get a closer look at the Belchers. Yeah, Butter, that falls under the turning directors. They made a fairly tough call, but everything playing a little bit slower with how wet and marshy everything has been, so that one from right, lifted into center, just in front of Lenti. Throw goes to 2. Walker comes in to score, and once again, High Y in the lead, 3-2, with Elsie coming up. Steve Burke, our guy, checking in on Facebook, says Doss look good in the navy blue this weekend. The navy blue and the Washington Nationals hat. Yeah, Andrew played for Goodwood this weekend. Great to see some of our Goodwood friends out here for the tournament. Young up-and-coming team. I know Steve started it with some friends and family. 14, 15 years ago, had a real nice post about that. Also, I regret giving your buddy a field pass to take pictures because those pictures were phenomenal. Really made me jealous about my own abilities. Elsie hits that one up the middle to Lenti. Wright's going to get waved around third. Aggressive send, high throw home. That one caught him off guard. Elsie around second. He's about a third of the way, but he's going to hold. Real aggressive send at third, but it looked like it caught the Whale boys off guard ever so slightly. Drew a quick, rushed, high throw. Frank Simon unable to make the catch. And Jacob standing at 2. Good ball up the middle. 4-2 now. High Y in the lead. Greg Flowers, yeah, the maintenance crew's done it for many years. We go all the way back to the Novaks, the Buckleys. Got a lot of grounds crew royalty. Got more Novaks working in the grounds crew now when they're not busy base running in the tournament. Of course, Field of Dreams recipient from the Chicago 16-inch Softball Hall of Fame, which can be found right about yay. You can visit them at Shy16HOF on Facebook. Back to the top with Charles Golden. Cha-Cha takes the time. Hits that over to short. Short hop for Mac. So all Jack can do is hold that one still. 2 down. Nice little 2-out rally here for High Y. Pierce steps in with an opportunity to make it at least 3, but real great speed. If he can find some green space in the outfield, we might see Cha-Cha burn. There's a strike. Grounded up the middle, quick throw to first. Nice release there from Fickers for out number 3, but 2 across for High Y. They've got a 2-run lead. We head to the top of the third with Whale coming right up. So top 3, top of the order, Brian Barzowski, Mike Crawford, and Bino Fickers. Jalen, last update I got, it was 7-0 Hall of Fame concessions over March in the top of the third. I anticipate Joel sending me a text here in a couple minutes with an update. But that was just 5 minutes ago. Ryan takes a strike from Walker. Hits that up the middle. Walker tried the kick save, but no cigar. Leadoff single for Borzowski. Logan, that I'm not sure of. I will likely be using our park hotspot up here, so if they're able to get it work, I believe. But I know that there's been some signal issues in the park. So Bino Fickers here takes a ball. Illegal pitch, flipped foul to the right side off the top of the fence. Sheriff didn't like that illegal call. But Bino bailed him out with the swing. Our guy Tom Boyle checking in. Appreciate all your hard work this weekend, Adam. I appreciate all your guys' hard work this weekend. Lifted into center. Pierce over a couple steps. Single tag throw just a bit too high off of second, but a good hold from Mike. Got about 3 steps and then held. Good throw from center from Pierce just to get it in quickly, even if it was a bit off the mark. So first and third, 1 out, and in steps the third baseman, Jackson Perry. Jackson was playing 20 questions with me in the chat last night during the final game, so I'm pretty sure he could log into any of my accounts right now if he wanted to. Pushes that to the right side. Man knocks it down. Can't come up with it cleanly, though. KJ scampers over to pick it up. So Borzowski comes in to score. Crawford to second. Perry on first. Whale get one back, chasing one. 1 down, 2 on. And here's the pitcher, Chris Rieger. Boyle, a part of Fat Kids, as I mentioned earlier, one of the young ascending teams. Fat Kids, Goodwood. Nice to see these teams stringing together a couple appearances in the tournament. Whale moved up to the majors this year. Of course, they're still swimming here on Championship Sunday. Winner of this one moves on. Loser of this one goes home or hopefully just hangs out at the park. Rieger, nice line drive into center in front of Pierce. Throw goes to second. Crawford goes to home. So we are knotted up at 4 once again. First and second for Whale. Jackson on 2, Rieger on 1, still 1 down, and here's Frank, the Bambino Simon. Dave Bradford checking in on Facebook. My guy, been great to see you all weekend. Frank lifts that into left center. Jackson comes around to score. Rieger's going to get waved home. That's going to be a 2 RBI double for Frank. Big hit there for Whale. Now they're in the lead by 2, so runner on second. Frank Simon, 2 RBI double, 6-4 here in the top of the third. Butter, I've got a frosty cold Busch Light ready for a Busch Bomb. I'll just take the Cubs beating the Sox, though. That was good enough for me yesterday. Sounds Busch Bomb. Noach watching at home says, let's go, Bambino. So we got a gaggle of fat kids in the chat. You love to see it. So here's Brian Mercurio. Takes a ball. That's right, Logan. I forgot. Jackson was at second, and he said BRB to the second baseman and then scored home. Said G2G. Thanks for keeping me honest, Logan. Brian takes a ball, 2-1. That one off KJ's hands, goes into center. They're going to hold Frank. Good hold. Throw goes over to third. And Mike calls him out. So Frank caught wandering just a bit too far. Doc coming in to ask, did he see anything from the field? Because it was a bad angle. He was blocked ever so slightly. So from where Mike was, Frank diving in, he was down the line behind him, said he saw him get him on the hand. Field umpire agrees with Mike, says out. So a big out, number 2, erases the base runner in scoring position. Still 4 across for Whale, though. 2-run lead, 2 down. Update from Joel, same score in the top of the 4th, so Hall of Fame concessions leading March 7-0 in the top of the 4th. That one caught in center off the bat of Lenti for out number 3. So Whale with a big 4-run inning. They've got a 2-run lead. We head to the bottom of the 3rd, and high Y coming up. Bell Long, we'll get to that question right after this break.
I think we have to go by here. Name IRICCAL. Okay. Thank you.
So Gabe Irizarry, I believe, coming into sub at second base. Doc just spelled it, so I'm trying to put that one together. So Bellong, your question about the ball, it comes out of the box rock hard. You play with a new ball every game, and then as the game progresses, it gets a little bit softer, but it definitely is not super soft. It'll still break some fingers in the 7th inning. So KJ, Trey J, and Travis coming up here. Johnson hits that one to Rieger for out number 1. Kevin Johnson retired. Trey Johnson steps up. Belt long, honest question. Are you familiar with a 16-inch softball? I have one right up here. I can hold it up against the camera with my banana hands. You can kind of see the scope of the ball. Trey takes a strike. Trey, one of those players with a elongated, beautiful left-handed swing. Chops that one over to short. Jack with it. No play at one. The high hops pay off for Trey. Another score update from field 2. Top 5th now, still no score change. 7-0 Hall of Fame concessions over March. So runner on first, one down here for Travis. Chops that one to Rieger. Flips, almost flips to 2, but a good hold there. Looks like Trey would have likely been safe, even with a perfect flip. So Travis retired, but does move Trey into scoring position. Gotta love the 16-inch softball community. We have just as many viewers for our 9:30 a.m. game as we had for one of our winners bracket games. That meant a lot last night to get much closer to the final. So appreciate you all being with us. 9:30 a.m., 9:30 p.m. Don't matter. We've got softball all weekend long. It's Championship Sunday. High Y still chasing 2. We head to the top of the 4th with Whale coming right up. So Jack, Mike, and Eddie coming up here for Whale, 2-run lead. Yeah, these Sunday morning games are definitely intense. You got to keep winning, and if you keep winning, you keep playing. There are no breaks. I think back to my first year streaming when I did all the games up here in Field 1, and Old Timer Tavern from Iowa played about 5 straight games here on Field 1, just kept winning, kept playing. The fun don't stop. It's like a can of Pringles here in Forest Park. Lifted high over the infield. KJ ranging back, makes the over-the-shoulder catch. Showing off a little bit of that football prowess. I know he used to blow people up on the block, but I'm sure he could make a nice little Ben Johnson trick play receiver out there. Got the hands, got the feet. So this was our sub, Gabe, in for Mike. Yeah, Brandon Dutton. That was probably one of my favorite Sundays, just watching Old Timer roll. And that Matt Mackey ball over the fence. I've talked about it about a dozen times this weekend as Gabe laces a single into center. So we're going to get 9 for 23. Marcus Turner hitting here for Eddie Barzowski. Pump and pitch there from Sheriff, finds the zone for a strike. Lifted into left, right in front of Nano. Big hop. Gabe gets back. Started drifting just a little bit as it started to kick away from Nano, but a good recovery in left. First and second now. Going to get a re-entry. Eddie is going to go back to first. So Marcus with the single gets to go take a swig of some electrolytes on the bench while Eddie does the work on the bases. Brian Barzowski up here. 1 for 2 with a run scored. Pushes that into the left side hole. Gabe's going to get held at third. Base is loaded now here for Whale. Yeah, Brandon, it was an amazing run, and you could tell like 3 games in, the boys were getting a little gassed. It was extremely hot, but to just run through Sunday like that and keep playing against some of the top teams here in Illinois really put a stamp on what Iowa can do in the No Glove Nationals. Cheryl, yes, you did hear correctly. Assuming everything goes on schedule, the championship game is slated to start at 3:45 today. Lifted deep into left off the bat of Crawford. Nano chasing it back, can't get to it, almost hit the tractor. Let's see if they send him home. He's hot on Barzowski's heels, and that is a grand slam from Mike Crawford. That might be the ball of Mike Crawford's life. He absolutely crushed that ball all the way to our maintenance tractor in deep left field. You saw whether it was Sam or Andrew jump off the tractor just in case. And then Mike, hot on Barzowski's heels, touches them all. 4 runs, puts Whale up 6 over High Y. And we're going to get a pitching sub here. Believe it's going to be Reynard. Reynard Johnson. What a ball there from Mike Crawford. And Brandon, while I have a minute, I do still have to say from that Old Timers run that I still swear with every fiber of my being that ball Matt Mackey hit into deep right field over the 3 trash cans on a pole past that light pole was completely fair and a home run. I didn't have a lot of allies at the time, but once we rolled the tape. So the game over on field 2 is done. I do believe Hall of Fame concessions won. That does mean I will be sticking up here for at least the 10:45 game. Hall of Fame concessions versus the winner of this one to make sure our friends from Iowa can watch all of that as it goes. Noach says later ball. Allison says, woohoo, let's go Whale. Julie as well. Whale looking to blowhole this one wide open. That one pushed over to right. Pierce with the catch. Cha-Cha and Pierce have switched. So 2 down. Yeah, Ben, I remember the umpire saying, well, I saw it in foul territory, but that was after as Jackson hits that one over to LZ over at third. They get out number 3. I'll finish that part of the conversation as we get to the bottom of the 4th. High Y chasing 6 after a big inning from Whale. But yeah, Ben, I remember the umpire saying, "Well, I saw it in fair territory." And from our perspective, we're just to the right of the line, but that ball had to have still been going up when it was in fair territory, but it certainly looked like it hooked around that fair line. And he saw it there in foul territory, maybe, but that's because it was still going. I'm convinced that it landed at the CTA station. I don't think we ever found it. And yeah, you're correct as well, Dean Pritt. From that Chucks game over on Field 2, watching some of those hits during some of the live streams, we had to call time quite a bit on some of those deep balls. We know those Iowa boys can hit. Yeah, Jerry, I might just never leave this booth. So Reynard, who hit for, or who came in to pitch for Sheriff, hitting now. So you can see in the top left of your screen, or I guess middle left, as that one hit off Rieger's foot, kick, save. Keeps it out of the outfield. Middle infield might have had a chance at that one, but good start there for High Y after a big inning from Whale. The score over from Field 2 was 10-0 Hall of Fame concessions over March. So Hall of Fame will be moving over here. Jasper Golden, runner on first. It's that into center, just in front of Lenti. So the next game over on Field 2 will be Chucks and Pharaohs. There's a strike. High fly ball to the left side. Eddie slides into the fence, pops right back up. Glad to see he is okay. Saw a couple plays yesterday during the flashback game with Ryan Russ diving into the fence, popped right back up. Silos on Twitch. I'm actually going to be doing the next game, Hall of Fame concessions versus the winner of this one. That one lifted over second base. Bino with a good effort for it. They're going to wave Reynard. Pitcher comes around to score. So High Y gets one back, and this is definitely a team you can't give any type of momentum to. Once they start rolling, it can be hard to stop. So yeah, let me pull up my schedule right here. So the next game, 10:45, the winner of this one versus the winner of Hall of Fame concessions, I'll be doing. Potentially the noon game, depending on how the next one shakes out. And then the three that I can guarantee that have been on the schedule since I made it will be the 115 winners bracket final, Circus versus 45s, the 230 losers bracket final at 2:30, and then 3:45, the championship game. So at least 4 more streams here today. Right, hits that into center. Jazz around to score. Throw goes to 3. Hits off of Nano. Big hit there from right. Finds himself on second base. Throw was going to 3. Hit off Nano. Nano came around to score. 2 more for High Y. Just like that, it's a 3-run ball game. So here's Elsie still. Nobody out. Rieger a little frustrated with the way this inning has started after the big inning for Whale. Understandably so. Makes the catch on the line. We've seen Rieger make a few real nice catches on line drives back to the pitcher this weekend. Every time I compliment him, he just says, look what I found, but keeps happening, so I'm starting to think it might not be a coincidence. We're back to the top of the order here with Charles Golden. Cha-Cha takes a ball. Other ball there, just missed. Little deep. And there is a walk. So first and second, still one out. Pierce up here, and you've got to believe Rieger would love some sort of double play ball. Yeah, Sean McCready, he definitely doesn't give himself enough credit for the type of defense I've seen out there. Hear from Chris Rieger this weekend. Joel Anthony checking in. What's up, bud? This is definitely a great game. It's been back and forth. One run here, one run there. Offensive explosion here, offensive explosion there. Pierce takes a strike. Lifts that into left center. Eddie can't cut it off. Lenti right behind him. That's going to bring in two more. 2 RBI double for Pierce. And High Y now chasing only one. So Daryl Johnson here, pinch hitting for KJ. Go from one hoss pinch hitting to another hoss. Let's see if Daryl can give this one a ride. Rips that down the line. Tello, is that his nickname? Because that would be very fitting. We're doing the West Side Outlaws games for our Tuesday league play. And it's a daunting feat when you've got, DJ waiting over on deck, and then right behind him is T-Rex. Mark Horak, the Hall of Fame game was 10-0. Hall of Fame concessions won over March. Truck is very fitting. Rips that one down the line, just fouled by a couple feet. The man, the myth, the legend, Andrew Doss dropping off a Kiwi Guava Celsius for me. Steve Burke says you looked good in the navy blue this weekend. Yeah, Michael, interesting move with the pinch hit for KJ to DJ, but these High Y boys are fired up and obviously trying something right here. Putting up 5 in the inning so far. Another hit ties this one up. We've had every lead has been tied up almost immediately. This has been a bonkers game early in the morning. Hammers that into left, right at Eddie, breaks in hard. Pierce holds at 2. Yeah, you are absolutely correct, Tello. KJ, one of the great dudes in the game, one of the great nice guys. His mother is wonderful. She got me some Looney Tunes socks. So here's Trey with 2 down, a runner on second base. Rieger hoping to keep the lead here and retire Trey. Trey rolls that over to first. Mercurio with it, flips to Rieger. Rieger with the jump man. And the umpire's going to call him safe. I'm guessing it's because he stepped on the orange. It looked like he stepped on the bag, but they're saying on the high Y side he didn't touch the bag at all, so he must have sidestepped it instead of stepping on it. Good job from Eric Huff and Reynard getting the guys back in the dugout. Let the umpires handle it. Yeah, TP, he came out. That's the way. I need to get a replay box up here. Maybe that's the next thing I will spend some money on. So Chris talking to Eric. And Trey, he's got a big smile on his face. He's walking away saying, okay. Rieger a little bit frustrated. But yeah, that's the way that it looked from up here. That he might have, as he jumped, he might have just drifted a little bit too far. Quick call from the umpire, so he was right on it. But that ties it all up at 10. Wow. So Trey standing at first. We've got another pinch hitter. I believe this is Jackson. Lifts it into right, over to Crawford. Crawford is under, makes the catch for out number 3. But anything you can do, I can do better. They were chasing 6 to start the bottom of the 4th. We are all tied up at 10, heading to the top of the 5th. Call your friends. Call your wives. Tell them to tune in. We have got a phenomenal game here early. It's only 10:25, and the action is already peaking here at Forest Park. So for those of you who missed it, Hall of Fame Concessions defeated March handily in 5 innings, 10-0. So Concessions will be moving over here. I'm going to be staying up in the booth to do that game. So the winner of this one versus the winner of Concessions, at this point, it's anyone's game. But with the way this one's been going and the way Hall of Fame has been swinging, the next game as well should be amazing. And it does seem like once everything was explained to Chris, he seemed, I don't want to say he accepted it, but he seemed okay with it. You know, Jordan Pierce, that might have actually been in my break music as Rieger hits that up the middle to KJ, gets a hand on it, fires off balance to first, can't pick it at first. So Travis unable to pick that one. Good effort from KJ. Chris Rieger standing on first. I had about 550 songs in my music bank on the stream deck. And then at some point I must have leaned on something because right before the last game last night, all my music was gone. So that might have been in there, but it's not anymore. Frank the Bambino Simon up here, runner on first. Rips that into center. Rieger's going to hold at first. Good quick throw into third, right on the money from Cha-Cha. Happy to have you all with us here on Championship Sunday, live from the Park District of Forest Park. Frank's going to get a runner. So Troy running at first. Mercurio lifts that into center. Rieger is going to tag to third. Troy, third of the way to second, but a good throw once again from Cha-Cha. Real smooth now. So here's Jake Lenti. Just missed. Pushes that to first, just under Travis's hands, brings in Rieger to score. Troy's going to hold at second. So back and forth, snip, snap, snip, snap. Whale retakes the lead. So strike to Jack. Rolled over to short. Trey flips to KJ for one. Over to first. Travis drops the ball. Yeah, next game, Jimmy, is scheduled to start at 10:45. Nathaniel says, salute to the grounds crew for doing a great job all tourney. Today was easy work for them after the last couple days, that's for sure. So first and third, 2 down. Gabe hits that up the middle to man, flips to KJ for out number 3. Whale get one back, retake the lead. But if the way things have been going today, that 1-run lead might be in danger. Back and forth all game. We head to the bottom of the 5th with High Y chasing 1. Yeah, Tello, that is a very appropriate, looking like basketball, whoever gets the final possession type of game. Call and answer, call and answer. No missed calls in this one, that is for sure. What are we waiting on? Waiting for Rieger to come back out. Yep, that's really it, Michael. 1 inning at a time. You can't get too ahead of yourselves. You can't get too behind. You saw High Y was down 6, and they didn't even bat an eyelash. Knew there was plenty of game. They just had to play their game, as Butter said, manufacture some runs. Of course, Whale with the massive grand slam from Mike Crawford that almost hit our field dragger. I noticed that it got moved back about 20 feet. So Kenny hitting for man. And then once again, if you missed it, you might notice there's no action on field 2 right now. Hall of Fame concession defeated March 10-0 in 5. So they'll be over here facing the winner of this one. I'll be here calling that action. There's a strike. Rips that one foul. Getting a little cloud coverage. Let's see if we can Bump this camera brightness up just a bit. Kenny hits that one up the middle. Bino with it, fires to Brian for out number 1. Yeah, Silos, that Circus and 45's game at 115 should be absolutely bonkers. We'll take a look at our sponsors after this as well. Got some great ones this year. Reynard takes a ball. There's a strike. And really, once they made that pitching change, things kind of changed for High Y. Reynard came in and settled things down quite a bit. Lifted into short left center. Lenti fires it in. 1 out single there from the pitcher. Here comes Jazz. So 5, Harris is going to pinch run for the pitcher. Our guy Bogey's checking in on Twitch. Hey, man, it was great to meet you last night. Glad you seeked me out and glad you were able to come out to the park. A newer 16-inch softball player, but he said the one thing I hear from everyone who plays 16-inch softball, man, I started playing and I love it. Andrew Doss up here nodding. That one hit him in fair territory. Let's see what the call is there. He looked in front of the plate on that one as he stepped and swung. Mike says no. Chris just mouthed to him, so it doesn't matter, and Mike shook his head yes. So that's a very interesting call. But a fresh opportunity there for Jazz. There, yeah, bring a chair for sure. It's gonna be crazy today. I believe the ice cream machine in concessions will be turned on around noon. I know you were talking about that yesterday. The soft serve and concessions, definitely a way to go. Of course, tacos from our friends at Cactus Grill. And then our amazing volunteers making beefs, burgers, dogs all weekend long. Jazz hits that back to Rieger. Rieger over to first. Whoever said in the chat, best fielding pitcher in 16-inch softball. Chris Rieger helping himself out there. They didn't like the call. They didn't let it affect them. Double play there to end the inning. So after 5, Whale holding on to a 1-run lead. We head to the top of the 6th. So we're going to get some subs here for the 45s. Really quickly, let's take a look at our subs, or at our sponsors. A+ Cleaning and Maintenance Service, and we'll do a longer read for this in a little bit. Cut Shot Sports, and Mike is here with bats this weekend. He's on Chucks. They're going to be playing on field 2. We'll be getting some scoring updates once that game gets underway. Papa Magoo's and the Uncle Jimmy Cousin Donnie Show. And then FH Passion. So if you want to see those sponsor graphics, head over to the No Glove Nationals page on Facebook. There's some websites, emails, other information. I know Papa Magoo's has Country Fest coming up with an American Idol winner from a couple years ago who will be there. Looks like it's going to be an awesome time. Papa Magoo's is an awesome time. Eddie Barzowski hitting here. It's Eddie, Brian, and Mike. Hits that over to short. Trey in the hole, off his back foot, plants and fires over to first to get him for the first out. Oh, we tried, Manny. We tried. So back to the top with Brian Barzowski. Hits that over to Trey once again. Hop at the hip, fires across, close play, but he gets him. 2 up, 2 down. So Crawford, who had the massive grand slam, back in the fourth, looking to do a little magic here. That one lifted high into left. Nano over, makes the catch for out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down for both teams. High Y chasing one coming up in the bottom of the 6th. So bottom 6 here for High Y. Nano right and LZ 9, 10, 11, then back to the top. Bogies, there's some street parking. There's parking just a little bit further along Harrison and Beloit. You can turn into the Park District itself, and there's a bunch of parking there. There are some handicap spots. And then just beyond where these fields are, across the street from the Hall of Fame, there's a CTA lot, and that is free parking this weekend as well. Nano lifts that to the left side. Eddie over, slides up against the fence and makes the catch. What a catch, Eddie Barzowski. Wow. Saw him go almost head first into the fence twice. That time he's able to make the catch and squeeze it. Popped up off the fence, and the Whale side is fired up. A huge first out there by the hands of Eddie Barzowski. Lifted into center. Lenti coming in, slides and makes the catch. 2 in a row for Whale. So let's see if we can get one out to Mike Crawford and see if he can make a nice play out there. I'm a big fan of symmetry. So Jacob Elzy just trying to get back to the top of the order. Bottom 6, High Y chasing one. Would love to at least tie it up before you head to the 7th. There's a strike. Jake takes time. Adjust the grip. Illegal pitch from Rieger. Big smile on his face. Elsie hits that to Rieger. He slips. He can't come up with it cleanly. Tried to make the play, lost his footing. And a big break there for High Y brings up Charles Golden with a runner on first, but the top of the order here looking to keep on cooking. So Chucks and Farrow's warming up on field 2 right now. There's a strike. You bet, Robbie. I didn't mean to leave you unanswered for so long. That one hit hard just between short and short center. Jake with a big turn around second. Looking for obstruction, but looked like he kind of ran into the shortstop Jack there as he came around. Saying you got to keep going. He didn't want to get out, but trying to work around. So Elsie in scoring position. Big opportunity here for Pierce. Yeah, it pops with the way Rieger's been playing defense this game. I thought there was a chance that he was going to fall down, kick that ball to himself, and then somehow kick it over to first. Right at the chest of Mercurio. Sean A., hello, checking in on YouTube. You've been here with us all weekend. Thank you, my friend. Pierce takes a ball just deep. Another ball. That one misses once again. So ball 4, bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. High Y chasing one. And who better than the Washington Park home run king, Kevin KJ Johnson, stepping in right now. I got goosebumps on my right arm. The energy from this High Y side is palpable. KJ lifts that into left. Eddie coming in, makes the sliding catch, and they keep the run off the board. Whale able to hold on to the 1-run lead on 3 remarkable outfield plays. 2 from Eddie Barzowski and 1 from Jake Lenti. So Whale maintaining a 1-run lead right now as we head to the top of the 2nd. They're coming right up. In the words of Borat, wah wah wee wah. We're in the top of the 7th. It's 11-10. Whale is going to send 3, 4, 5 up right now. Bino, Jackson, and Chris. Sean, the championship is 3:45 p.m. Scheduled to be 3:45 p.m., assuming everything stays on schedule. We're a little behind right now. The next game slated to start at 10:45, but this one has been back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth. Al Mag checking in on Facebook. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, I used some of your fun facts last night from your 16-inch softball presentation. That one hit hard to Elsie. Bobbles, throws to KJ. KJ down to a knee. And the sure hand's able to squeeze it at 1. Al Mag, of course, at the Chicago 16-inch Softball Hall of Fame at Shy16 HOF, does an awesome presentation on the history of 16-inch softball, all the way from the early days at the Farragut Boat Club with a rolled-up, taped-up boxing glove to everything that is now. So Jackson Perry up here with one out, rips that just under Jacobs' hands into left. Big turn around first. Nano gets it into second quickly. One out single. Yeah, Neek, unfortunately, but we're going to keep trying to nurture and rectify that relationship little by little. So Anthony's going to run for Jackson here, get some speed at first, see if they can bring him around for some insurance. Rieger hits that into right center, tailing away from Cha-Cha. That gets past him. That kicks away. Rieger, big turn around second. One guy is going to score. They're going to hold him at third. Good hold from the third base coach. So Anthony, the base running substitution pays off, comes around to score for Jackson Perry. Chris Rieger with an RBI triple puts Whale with a 2-run lead. Phil McHugh checking in on Facebook. Good morning. Phil's signature team playing at noon on Field 2 against the winners of Chucks and Pharaohs, which is just about to get underway on Field 2. That one lifted into left center off the bat of Frank Simon. Rieger's going to come in to score easy. Simon heading towards third. The throw goes to Trey. Trey's going to come up firing. Don't want to test that arm. Fires it to Travis. So back-to-back triples. And with the way Highwire's been answering, 3 runs is definitely not feeling like enough. So Whale's going to keep trying to add on. Brian Mercurio up here hoping to drive Frank in. Still only 1 out. Mike flinched, but ultimately called that one a ball. There's a strike. Lifts that one over, man, into center. Not a triple, but does the job either way. Frank Simon comes in to score. Mercurio on first. 4-run lead for Whale here in the top of the 7th. 6 for 25. So another pinch runner here. Mercurio is going to be replaced by Tom. Jake Lentee, who made a nice sliding catch in center. Cody, this is a couple games before the losers bracket final. Play over at second. They do call him safe as man was pulled off the bag on the high throw. Over to third, Jacob with it, steps on 3, gets the lead, fires across. Good effort there from Elzy, but they're able to cut down the lead runner, which is very important at this juncture of the game. You got it, Cody. Glad to help. I'll go over a little bit more of the bracketology when this one's done before the next game. William Russ with a nice little nugget in the chat. Thank you, William. High Y knocked out Whale last year. So obviously Whale looking for a little redemption song here. Gabe up with runners on first and second, 2 down. That's why you get paid the big bucks, Will. So another strike there from Reynard. Gabe lifts it into right, over to Pierce. He's under, he freezes, he makes the catch for out number 3. And if you've got a seatbelt handy, buckle up. We head to the bottom of the 7th. High Y chasing 4, looking to keep this one rolling along. So bottom 7 here, High Y chasing 4. Winner advances to the next game right here. Loser goes home. High Y was in a 6-run hole earlier, tied it up with a 6-run inning, so we know they've got it in them. And fortunately for them, they've got 4, 5, 6 coming up. So Trey Johnson, Travis Smith, and then Mann. This has been a remarkable game. A fitting start to Championship Sunday here at the Park District of Forest Park. Trey flips that down the line, just foul. Yeah, they don't feel out of it, Eugene, in a 4-run hole after the 6-run 4th. Sorry, 5-run 4th. That one misses deep. The last thing Rieger wants to do here is put someone on and get a little bit more energy out of that High Y side. We know they feed off of that. Trey flips it to the left side. Foul once again, out of play towards the Hall of Fame concessions players waiting for the next game. And you've got to believe that they're absolutely loving the fact that they get a little blow on the left side. They get to relax, watch this game. Looks like they're sitting under the big tree in front of concessions while High Y is out here playing their butts off, trying to come back. Whale has been running the bases pretty consistently, so both teams working extra hard while concessions gets a break. That one lifted into center for out number 1. Hall of Fame concessions working for the less is more, a 10-0 victory over March, and then they get to hang out for a bit. We're going to get everything turned over and back in action pretty quickly. So not a long break for whoever comes out of this one victorious. Travis Smith hoping to snap one here. Takes a strike. Knuckleball there from Rieger, finds the zone. Nice pitch. Illegal pitch, just a bit quick. Travis hits that over to short. High hop to Jack, throws to one. Mercurio can't make the stretch and the catch. Travis turns around first, hustles into second. High Y's Thanos standing on second base. And here's Huff. There's a strike. A little bit of room to maneuver, so Rieger obviously focusing on the batter. Gets ahead 2-0 here. He is dialed in right now, looking to end this one and send Whale home happy. And by home, I mean right into the next game against Hall of Fame Concessions. They're actually hoping to not go home for quite a while. Lifted into center, Lenti back, makes the catch in the back pedal, fires it in, so they do get the second out. Travis over to third. Ball does get through, but Mercurio's there to get it. Rieger looking a little gassed as well, so see how that carries over. Frank's going to talk to him for a second, give him a minute as everyone gets adjusted. Good move there by the catcher. So runner on third here for Reynard. Takes a strike. Lifts that into short left, right in front of Eddie. So high wide does get one back. And Renard was the one who started that big rally in the fourth for high Y. So a fitting start there. Now a 3-run ball game. We get a runner over at first for the pitcher. So Harris running once again. Jasper Golden, Jazz. 2 outs, runner on first. High Y chasing 3. Gonna need a big 2-out rally here. Rieger starts with a strike. When it's mattered most, Chris Rieger has dialed in. Jazz lifts that to the left side. That's going to be out of play. Good effort from Jackson Perry. Been reminiscing a lot about my first no gloves, as this is my 5th year. And Jackson, another one that first year right in front of me. I was taking pictures, made a catch along the first base side and absolutely smashed into the fence. I'm pretty sure he readjusted him back about 2-3 inches. Jazz chops that over to second. Mercurio gone, but the pinch runner a bit too far off the bag. The throw goes to 3. They apply the tag on the head. Mercurio turned a bad play into a good play. Came off the bag, no one there to cover first, and then the base runner at second just a bit too far off. Got chased down to third, a good feed over to third, and the tag applied. So Whale victorious in this one, 14-11. They're going to move on and take on Hall of Fame Concessions as soon as we get the field turned over. So Whale moves on. High Y is done. A good showing from them. The winner of this one is the winner of Whale and Hall of Fame. The next game is going to take on Flashback at 12 o'clock. The winner of Chucks and Pharaohs are going to take on Signature at 12 o'clock. So we're going to do this next game. We'll see about the noon game, but I can promise you at 1:15 we'll have Circus versus 45s. At 2:30 we'll have the losers bracket final. And at 3:45 it is the championship game. So I'm going to end this stream. I'm going to get all the title cards turned over. And then we're going to be right back with you for Whale versus Hall of Fame Concessions. Want to thank you for joining us. Nice and early. 9:30 a.m. The action on the field was already ready. Championship Sunday is rolling, my friends. And we'll be right back with you here in a couple.